Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details, as well as availability questions about this watch. Today, we discuss one of the best buys in luxury grade watches. If you're thinking about getting a 36, 39mm, 40mm Rolex of any description, consider how much value you get in this 38.5mm stainless steel Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. This is a watch from a brand that has a rich and deep heritage, unarguable engineering acumen, and remarkable quality per dollar. So really open your mind and consider how much you get with this 38.5mm Aqua Terra. So diameter is 38.5, it's 13.2 millimeters thick. From lug tip to lug tip, 45.5 millimeters, and then from end link to end link, if we measure bracelet length to bracelet length, the total distance across the wrist is 47.2 millimeters with a 19 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and this is my favorite size of the Aqua Terra. You can see how well it wears on a 16 centimeter wrist. You can also see the tan line from my cycling gloves, but the watch wears beautifully. This is one for him and for her, as I think it would wear fine on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference down the barrel, and then a cuff shot. And this is quite a bit thinner than the current generation of ultra-fat multi-level coaxial Omegas. This really fits quite well underneath a shirt sleeve. We've got a bracelet that has an integrating end link, though this isn't Patek Nautilus or AP Royal Oak levels of integration. It just closes the gap to the case and the lugs. So moving down, you can see that we have satin finished individual links. They are polished on their outer face. This is just a little piece of a sticker right there. And removable links are fixed by screws. You can see the presence of an intermediate size link on each side. In case you find yourself in between sizes with the primary links, you can remove or add one of those. We've got a sequential folding, double folding clasp with the Omega logo, deep, still sharply engraved. We have twin trigger release, so you've got to press both of the triggers to open up the clasp. One is not enough. So you've got a watch that is 150 meters water resistant with a screw down crown, effectively amagnetic with a silicone hairspring. And then there is an awful lot to love when you get to the dial side of the watch. We've got longitudinal satination. We've got lyre-style lugs with inward and outward bevel, the outward bevel being polished. There's a media blast and polish on the crown, which has a little bit of countersink into the case, so aesthetically it doesn't stick out too far. Polished conical bezel. We have the teak deck concept dial that originated in the late 2000s when Omega decided that because this was not a rotating bezel Seamaster Professional, something a little bit more genteel and refined was called for, and so it is suggestive of leisure, or perhaps athleisure, at the yacht club, the teak deck of a yacht. So you can wear this in the ballroom, you can wear this on the beach, you can wear this while swimming or piloting your yacht. This is the Surf and Turf Seamaster. We have little individual indices which feature facets that are satinated and polished alternately. Gives the dial a wonderful twinkle. We have a dropped track outboard for reading seconds and minutes. Applique Omega logo and marquee faceted, polished and satinated trapezoidal frame for the date. And then you can see the hands are half brushed for better contrast against the dial base. We have two setting modes here. One is the mobile hour hand, and you see the watch is still ticking, and I'm not displacing the minute hand. This is for jumping time zones, forward and backwards. And as you travel, this is a fantastic way to adjust for variable time zones. You don't have to lose your precisely set second, because I know if you're buying a watch like this, you care about chronometry, and you would have set the watch to a reference time. You can do so by pulling the crown out all the way. Now it activates stop seconds, and you can set this watch to a reference time. Flipping it all over, you can see on the reverse side, caliber 8500, a marvel when it debuted on the Hour Vision in 2007. I fell in love with this movement from the first. It's a high-tech coaxial chronometer. It is a COSC chronometer. When you see 8500, you're looking at the COSC version of this watch. And when you see 8900, you're looking at the master chronometer version. So coaxial escapement, George Daniels invented it. It is tangential friction between the impulsed and impulsing surface of the escapement, which creates less friction than sliding friction of a Swiss lever. improves chronometry, improves power reserve, which here is 60 hours, and reduces the need for maintenance. Now, with 2 barrels, you have a nice flat and substantial plateau of torque. So from max wind to min wind, there's not a lot of fluctuation in the balance amplitude, which makes for very precise adjustment, as does the free-sprung balance architecture, which is also very shock resistant. We also have a dual-anchored balance bridge for even more shock tolerance. All this pivots on 39 joules. You can see the 2 barrels. And then this lovely spiral arabesque Côte de Genève across bridges and rotor with blackened and polished screws for a unique aesthetic, all set up to deliver durability and precision in a watch that is once more superb value. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.